Right, so welcome to our lesson on inverse of a function. Okay, so basically we are going to learn how to find the inverse of a function. In this lesson we shall look at how to find the inverse of a linear function and also how to find the inverse of a nonlinear function. So let's get started. Now, there are a few steps that I would want you to take into consideration. The first is that you would want to write the function as y is equal to something, okay? What am I trying to say? So a function could be defined as f of x is equal to x squared, all right? I want you to write it. The first step is to forget about the f of x there and then just write y is equal to x squared. Then the next thing is that you would interchange the positions of x and y, and then finally you make y the subject, and then you are done. Okay, so let's see an example on this. So example 1, we have to find the inverse of f if f of x is given as this. Okay, so the first step is to equate this function to y. Okay, so the first step, y is equal to 5x minus 3. Then the second step is to interchange the positions of x and y. All right, so this is what we have. X is now here and y is there. The third step is for us to make y the subject, this y the subject of this equation. Okay, so we will move the 3 to the other side so that it becomes x plus 3. Okay, then we divide through by 5. All right, so we move this 3 to the other side of the equation to become positive 3. Some will also want to say that add 3 to both sides is also fine. Or you can easily say you would move the negative 3 to cross the equal to sign to become a positive 3. Okay. Then finally, you divide through by 5 to make y the subject. So when you divide through by 5, okay, when you divide through by 5, you have x plus 3 over 5. Therefore, the inverse, the f inverse, is equal to x plus 3 over 5. So it's very, very easy. Remember, the first step is that you will set up the equation and you equate it to y. Then you interchange the positions of x and y. Then you make y the subject. So let's see another example. Example 2. You have g of x is defined as this. Okay. Now this is a non-linear because the highest power of the x term is 2. It's more than 1, so it's a non-linear function. But it follows the same trend. Okay, so the first thing that we will do is to equate y to x squared plus 2. Okay, that's what we have. Then we will interchange the positions of x and y. So we have x is equal to y squared plus 2. All right, then we solve for y, so we make y the subject. Now in making y the subject, the 2 has to come to this part of the equation, so the 2 crosses the equal to sign to become negative 2. Then since we want to make y the subject, what do we do? All right, we will take square roots of both sides. Okay, so y is equal to the square root of x minus 2. Now we conclude, therefore g inverse of x is equal to root of x minus 2. All right, let's consider example 3. Example 3, we should find this sign h raised to the power negative 1 is called h inverse. Okay, h inverse of x if h is defined as this. Okay, so now we have a quotient, that is a function dividing another function. How do we go about it? Same process. Don't panic that this is a quotient. We follow the same procedure. So y is equal to this thing. Okay, so let's set it up. Y is equal to 2x plus 3 over x minus 1. All right, now we will interchange the positions of x and y like we've been doing. So let's do that. So now x comes here, y goes here. Okay, all right, now our job is to make y the subject. So I will repeat this thing so that we will not come back to this slide. All right, so this is what we have. Let's now make y the subject. So to make y the subject, then the denominator will go and multiply this part. Okay, so we have x into bracket y minus 1 equals 2y plus 3. Okay, then we expand this bracket, so we have xy and then we have negative x. Okay, so we have xy minus x is equal to 2y plus 3. Now we group like terms, we put all y's together, so we will let this 2y come to this part, and then this negative x will come to this part. Okay, so this 2y comes here and that becomes negative 2y. Now this negative x crosses the equal to sign to become a positive x. So y is common to both, so we factor out y, so we have y into bracket x minus 2 equals x plus 3. All right, so this I'll repeat on the next slide. So we have y into bracket x minus 2 is equal to x plus 3. Okay, so we would divide through by x minus 2. That would mean that y is equal to x plus 3 over x minus 2. All right, so the inverse of h is equal to x plus 3 over x minus 2. So always keep in mind that you are following 3 steps. The first step is you let y be equal to the function. Okay, and then the second step is you interchange the positions of x and y, and then the third step is to make y the subject, and you are done. That is how to find the inverse of a function.